YouTube, hi, how you going? It's Iski here. Well, I thought I'd take you up and do an unvanning. And for those who don't know, an unvanning is where I take my camera, I go up to my van and I show you what I've just got from the dump. And I was going to do that just now, but it's too hot. It's just way too hot. So I thought let's stay in the air conditioning in my corset shop where the air conditioner is blowing a gale, keeping us all cool. And let's just show you what I've found in the last couple of days here. We've got, this shop is actually doubling up as a 3D printing station as well. And anyway, listen, what I'll do is I'll just pull back here and I will show you the table. It's more of an untabling. This is my cutout table, and on it I have all the items that I found this weekend. So let's begin. Let's just start here. This here, what do people think these are? It's not hard to guess what these are. These are shelves out of a wine fridge, a glass door wine fridge. And these ones actually pull out, so they kind of slide out really smoothly and all that kind of stuff. And why did I grab these? Apart from the fact they look super cool, they got this really cool stainless steel front edge. Well, listen, I actually went back to the tip because I saw this fridge the day before and I thought, what could I use off that beautiful thing? This thing was about to get crushed. It was a really tall glass door wine fridge. It was worth about $3,500. And I thought to myself when I got home, I came up with the idea of an AV rack. You know, audio visual rack where, you know, people know that I'm building a home cinema. I'm building a home cinema. It's going to have a 180-inch 16:9 screen in it. And I'm eventually going to be building an AV rack. I'm going to have somewhere where I put, you know, basically all my equipment, amplifiers and receivers. And I thought to myself when I came home, wouldn't the glass door from that fridge look amazing? Because the glass door was all stainless steel surround, and it has glass and it was tinted, and I thought that's what I need for this AV rack. So I went over there the next day, which was like a couple of days ago, and I pulled the door off, and while I was there I started thinking, wouldn't it be cool to have these shelves as the actual shelves all the equipment was sitting on, because they just match the glass door. And so I was madly trying to work out how to pull these bloody things out of the fridge for a start. It was interesting. I worked out there's a lever here and you have to kind of push these levers down on either side to pull those out, and then you have to kind of unscrew all of these. And if you can imagine how much time and effort there was in getting these, you know, basically all of these drawers out of a fridge when you're not supposed to be doing it, mind you. You know, they don't really like you kind of picking at stuff. They'd rather just see stuff not get recycled and kind of get pushed up with all the other steel and destroyed. But a lot of them like to look the other way because they're really into recycling. They can see the value in it. But anyway, so that's the shelves. I'll quickly show you the glass door, and that's it here. In fact, this is my home cinema. You can see I'm just starting to build it. I'll give you a quick look at this. If I say the magic words, computer, lights, we have light. And you can kind of get a better idea. I've just started building this thing, just sorting out the ceiling. This is actually a massive 8 meter by 8 meter deck that we are under, well, the cinema's going to be under. But yeah, it's going to have a 180-inch screen. That's a slightly smaller 150-inch screen that I'm using there at the moment. But yeah, it's going to be going full steam ahead pretty soon. So if you're into home cinema and you really want to see how this turns out, and you know, I'm no professional. I'm just some ordinary guy that makes, you know, women's steel bone corsetry for a living. I make a living behind a sewing machine, but I do like to build stuff, and so far I've built everything that you basically see here, and I'm going to build the rest, including, can't wait to, just want to get these soffits done. These soffits are going to go all the way around the cinema. In fact, you can see this massive beam that's holding this deck up. That's actually going to be all hidden away inside the soffits. I think that's how you say that word. But there you go. But anyway, let's get back to this door. So that's the door. This is the glass door that I found for this AV rack. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to use it. It's too tall. I forgot. I've got a height limit, and I'll see if I can throw you up a quick photo of where my The actual AV rack is going to be inside this home cinema. It's actually going to be around that corner there. And I'll throw up a photo of how I want that to eventually look. But as you can see, the door needs to be a certain height, and I think this door here is going to be too tall. So I think I'm going to end up taking this back. I'll hold on to the shelves because these fridges, they're basically all the same width, so I'll just find another glass door off another wine fridge or beer fridge and pull it off. As long as it's got the nice stainless steel around it, I think that it'll work. But the fact is, this one is a bit stuffed, like the handle stuffed. Not that that would have put me off too much, but it does have some kind of chips coming out, well, scratches I should say. They weren't really careful when they were throwing it out. But and plus it's kind of got that classic fog type of thing that these double glazed fridges get, right? Anyway, there you go. So that's what I thought. So if there's any home theatre nuts out there who may have actually done this or seen this done, you know, building a AV rack with a glass door beer or wine fridge, please let me know, because I thought that would be a really cool idea, but then I thought to myself, am I just flattering myself? Because I always think my ideas are really good and a lot of the time they're not. But let's move along. So we got this. I picked this up. This works. It's a Sony receiver down the bottom, and that is a matching subwoofer. I don't know why I grabbed it. I don't know why. I actually already have. I've got one that I grabbed years ago, and I'm just collecting all this equipment so I can use it in my cinema. But yeah, I don't know why I grabbed it, because honestly, the receiver's kind of not something that I'd use, and the fact is, you have to have basically that subwoofer connected to that receiver for the subwoofer to work. I'd love it if the subwoofer just worked on its own, but it doesn't. It's just the dumbest thing. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll either take it back. I can't take it back. I can't take anything that works back to e-waste because it'll get destroyed. I will probably just give it to someone or donate it to someone. So yeah, someone will appreciate it. But let's move along. Okay, we have, I think it's a 21-inch MacBook, not MacBook, iMac, an Apple computer. So that's a cool thing. If you've probably seen, I've got a few iMacs around. That's a 27-inch, this one over here. I found that one at the dump, and it works great, and that's what I use in here. That little laptop there, I just grabbed that laptop from the dump as well, and that just runs my massive TV, the 55-inch LG TV that I use over there for slideshows. Yeah, so that's basically, I found that at the dump. I fixed that TV. I fix a lot of TVs. You can see videos of me fixing TVs that I find in my videos if you want to have a look at that. But yeah, that MacBook Pro there, it's a really good MacBook Pro. I like it, love it. And I found that one. In fact, I've got probably 10 of those 27-inch iMacs. I've got probably a dozen of those. But I've only got a few of these smaller MacBooks, and I want to give a couple to my niece and nephew because they're at that age where they're going to need computers. They're like, 8 or 9 now. So anyway, let's move along. So hopefully that actually does work. It powers up, so I'll just test it out, and I'll probably end up putting Windows on because I might like the whole Apple computers and hardware, but I don't like their ecosystem, and I would never buy into it. But if people are throwing their stuff away, I will definitely grab it for free, and I love saving stuff. All right, does anyone know what that is? I didn't know what it was when I picked it up. I just thought, hell, that looks really interesting. What the hell is that? And it was heavy. I threw it in the car very quickly just so I could get out of there because it would have been definitely thrown on the steel pile and pushed up by the bulldozer. And I can confirm that this actually works. In fact, let me push this button. Maybe that will actually make it clearer to some people. We're still guessing. Remember, we're still guessing what this is. I haven't told anyone. But listen, we get that light coming on, and then we get another light. The main light comes on. I'll give you a hint. It has a lot to do with that. That's it. I'll have to tell you now. It is a 3D scanner. It's a dentist 3D scanner, and it scans teeth and things like that. I didn't know what it was when I picked it up. I've just researched it, and that's what I've come up with. It's just for dentists. In fact, if I put my hand at the back here, there's another piece to it, and that's it there. So what I think is they get either people's teeth, I'm not touching any of those things, by the way, or I'm not sure if they're, you know, scanning other things, crowns or whatever, but I'm not sure. Maybe they pull the teeth out and they scan them to make a crown. Beats me, but I think that probably sits in there somehow. And I'm not sure how it works. I wouldn't have a clue how it works or how to get it working, or if it's worth getting it to work. I was thinking it would be really cool. I've always wanted a scanner. Wouldn't it be cool to have your own scanner where you could scan stuff and then 3D print stuff? So I don't know if there's any dentists out there or people in the 3D printing community who know, you know, a bit about this. Please let me know. I think this particular one here, this particular one is old tech. There's only 4 connectors in the back. In fact, let me see if I can push this around or pull this around. Get that computer out of the way. But yeah, see those 3 there? They're you know, those plugs that plug in the back of, you know, scanners for, you know, paper scanners and 3D, just normal, you know, printers. It's got 3 of those, and what else has it got? Oh, well, just above there, it looks like, I don't know if you can see that, it's like a VGA connector. So I think the latest ones have HDMI connectors. Honestly, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's probably old tech, and that's probably why they threw it out. Having said that, I saw one on eBay just recently for thousands, and this would have cost thousands to buy originally, so I don't know. But the thing is, check this out, I'm pretty sure it works. If I grab a piece of paper, I don't have a piece of paper, let's use this iPad that I found at the dump. If I put that there, check that out, you can actually see that projected down on that, it says PC up the top, and it says no signal down here. So it's interesting, you know, if you actually look down and you're looking up, let's have a look. Can you see this? Can you see there's these 2 cameras there that are just focused down to this particular point? If I get rid of that light, maybe you'll see it there. But I couldn't leave it there, right? I have to grab this stuff, because if you come home, research it, and go, wow, that's a scanner, I have to go back. You know, half the time it's already been thrown out and crushed. So I'm glad I saved it. This has like a sliding perspex door, acrylic door that comes down over the top. In fact, when I first grabbed it, I thought, I didn't have a good look, but I thought maybe it was some kind of printer, some kind of 3D printer. But turned out to be a scanner. So interesting, eh? All right, let's move along. There we go. What's this? How cool is this computer? Oh, what a piece of crap. But yeah, look at this. The only reason I grabbed this computer is because of the Noctua heatsink. Always wanted a Noctua, one of those heat sinks anyway. It's one of the best ones that they've ever brought out, apparently. People are still using that particular heatsink. I don't know what I'll use it for, but they're always good to have in stock. And if you have a look at my computer stash, I've just got room full, just chock-a-block full of really cool, you know, we got water coolers and every type of fan and power supply and anything that you can imagine. I've got CPUs. I'm actually interested to know what the CPU underneath that is. Yeah, that'd be kind of an interesting, we may even find out in this video, eh? I'll pull this apart and check it out. But other than that, the only thing I would grab as well would be, you can see here, this power supply. I don't think I'd bother with the power supply. I've got heaps of those. But I am always, this is a modular power supply, so they have the, you know, the cables that plug in and out. And I'm always looking for these cables. So I think I'll just save the cables and reuse those, put them in my stash. But other than that, I'm just going to grab basically that heatsink and toss it. Moving along. What's this? Well, we have ourselves a monitor. It's just a LED backlit 27-inch monitor. It works. I plugged it in. You know, someone just didn't want it anymore, so I grabbed that because I do build a lot of computers for people, friends and strangers. I donate computers to, people as well. I just give them away because I find it fun and interesting building stuff, and yeah, two, it's just nice to recycle. So I give them away. So that will go in my, stock, and I'll have another 27-inch monitor because most of them that you find are around 24, 23 inches. So I've only got maybe 3 or 4 of these in stock. So cool. Okay, moving along. Check this out. This is probably what I'll be using the most. These lights, I found these with that dentist scanner, and I thought to myself, how cool is that? How cool is that? They are the lights that the dentists use above your head when they're giving you a filling and all of that kind of stuff. Well, that's what I thought at the time, and it might be the case. That might be what this particular dentist used, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. Maybe they were just used in the laboratory. If there was a where they make, if they have that particular scanner over there, then they've got a laboratory where they basically make dentures or crowns and so forth. So I'd say that these were actually used in the laboratory because check this out. They're all magnifying glasses as well. So if I actually I've turned this one on, and I have wanted one of these, at least just one. I just wanted one. I've wanted one for years, but I'm too much of a tight ass. Well, listen, I'd put the money out. I'd buy one, I guess, but whenever I think about it, the only time I ever think about getting one is when I need it, and then I forget about getting it. You know how it is. But now I've got three. I've got three. How cool is that? But the only thing is, they're missing their frickin' clamp, so you can get them and you can get a clamp that goes on the end here. See, this one's actually busted. So I might even pull this head off that particular arm and use it for something else. But yeah, but the other two have that kind of end, and there's normally a clamp that gets clamped to your table, and that sits in, or some of them have like the the stands that get rolled around the floor, and so I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll work it out. That's a pretty easy kind of thing to overcome. But yeah, that's cool. I'm going to enjoy that. Maybe I could even use them, as sewing machine lamps as well. But there you go, guys. I thought I'd just quickly show you that. I thought that was a pretty interesting, scope of things that I found. If anyone knows anything about that 3D scanner, please let me know. I'd be really kind of interested to know if I can use that to scan anything that's bigger than a tooth, for example. Yeah, and if anybody out there in the home theatre community knows of has done this, where they've actually built an AV rack out of, say, an old fridge, glass door fridge, please let me know as well, because I think that's a really cool kind of way to do it, because these things can cost quite a lot of money, don't they? So, and plus, if I do it like this, I'm recycling, and I like the idea of doing that. It doesn't have to be recycled, the stuff that goes into my home cinema, but if I can kind of save something that is just as good, and if it turns out to be just as good as something else that I might pay, a lot of money for, then I'll always choose the recycling route for sure. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Rightio. Okay, what do we got? We got ourselves a nice Noctua heatsink. I think it was a NHD14, I think. Doing a bit of research. These are still quite loved. So it's good to have that. To be honest, I don't think I'll ever use the heatsink. But I'll probably use the fans. These fans, Noctua fans, are really expensive. So I'll do some, maybe my HTPC for my home cinema, future home cinema. I could probably pinch a couple of these fans. But there you go. So that's the heatsink. What else do we get? We got the mounting kit for that, obviously. And we have a nice little i5 4670 CPU. Yeah, that's a nice little CPU. I'll put that in stock. We'll use that in another build sometime. And of course, we got all of these modular cables for the power supply. So I will label those. I mean, like, I'm not really sure. I do have quite a lot of these cables, but I've done some builds and I've tried using certain, brand cables with other brand power supplies, and I'm convinced that they're not all kind of universal. So yeah, so I'll actually have to start labeling these things instead of throwing them in one big pile like all my other ones have been. So I'll label these Corsair and keep them with the Corsair modular power supply cables. And but there you go, that little computer is going back to the dump, but we got some parts out of there, and we will use them in another build. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.